Hi, it's me, Ciciella, and welcome back to This Podcast Doesn't Have an Official Name. I'm your host, Ciciella.
And I'm your other host, Aaliyah. And I don't know
And
why she's talking like a phone sex operator. Please help me.
It's because I have my new microphone. Well, not really new, but I am recording this on my fine microphone that you can buy on Amazon.com. Just a second, no, this video is not sponsored.
If it were sponsored by anything, I guarantee it would not be sponsored by Amazon of all things.
It probably would not. Honestly, I'm just hoping for like. I love how, you're not the first one to ever say that I've done a voice that sounds like a phone sex operator.
Girl, you came on here. Hi. Welcome back to the podcast. Like, girl, if I were in the room with you, you'd be getting pepper sprayed, bro. Stop. I did not consent to this.
If anything, it sounds like a phone sex operator that also has a job as a news anchor, and she got confused on the show she was doing.
For real, stop it.
So, anyway, welcome back to the, we don't know what this, podcast name is, podcast. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you guys so much for so many views on our last episode. We did not expect that at all. We appreciate it. You all appreciate it.
Y'all really ate with that one.
Yeah, y'all really ate down with that one. So that means we have to keep giving the people what they want. Which is,
and for some reason they want this.
Or more bad TV movies. So comment down below. What movie do you want us to watch next? I guarantee you, though, on that list will not be any of the Father May Eyes or Sloppy Seconds. If y'all comment down below, you're getting blocked.
I don't know what those are, but I don't want them.
You don't. You really don't. That's the one. That's the one I will not make you go through.
That's surprising.
I will not. Let's just say it's some very the backlash is warranted on this one. But anyway, but we're not here to talk about two movies today. We are here to talk about musicals. Because that was our first episode. And now we're back at it again. And not because Leah held a pew-pew to my head and told me that I'm going to do it or else I'm leaving the podcast.
What? I said no such thing. Girl, defamation. Defamation. Crazy. Y'all, don't believe her. She's over here lying to you for no reason. But today we are talking about Mean Girls and all of the iterations / adaptations of Mean Girls. Because I watched the movie musical and I have things to say about that. Good Lord. Cece?
Hey, sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. This is going to be probably a reoccurring thing until we actually get our shit together because it's hard to do an audio-only podcast.
Yeah, we're over here struggling because every once in a while our audios will just shut off mid-conversation, which is very rude, but I digress. So
they don't want the black women to speak. That's what it is.
That must be what it is, and I don't like it. It's very rude.
Yeah, it's rude and disrespectful. But anyway, but speaking of rude and disrespectful, we're going to be talking about Mean Girls, every single iteration of Mean Girls. First things first, let's start off how we usually do, even though it's only been 3 episodes. So when did you first watch Mean Girls, the original movie?
I watched it earlier than this, but my most distinct memory watching it was when I was in the 8th grade in my English class, because we were reading The Outsiders, and my teacher wanted to kind of show us the juxtaposition between men and how men fight and the teen drama on the men's side and how that usually turns out versus teen drama on the girls' side and how that usually works and goes about.
That's cool. That's what's up. Yeah. And did you ever see the Broadway show in person, or are you just
Girl, I am in Canada, and I'm poor. How the fuck would I have seen the Broadway show in person?
I don't know. Maybe you got a rich friend I don't know about. Maybe that's it.
If I had a rich friend, I would not be doing a podcast on my iPhone with you on Discord.
That is true. Unfortunately. Can't relate, because again, I have my fine mic here and my laptop.
Anyway,
for me, I believe it's actually funny because the year and like around the time that it premiered, that Mean Girls premiered and everything, I actually didn't see it in theaters. The movie I saw instead was another Lindsay Lohan movie that came out, which was Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. And I remember it was me and my mom and my cousin before, she hated me and whatnot. Hey, Micah, if you listen to this.
If she hates you, why the hell would she be listening to this?
I don't know. Shit, Seattle's crazy. Anyway, but I remember when we went to go see it, and I remember seeing like the cardboard cutout in the theater that we were at, and I was like, I wanted to change my mind because I had begged my mom to go see Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. I had begged her, and she said, "All right, fine," and maybe Mike want to go with us. So then, like, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I want to see that instead," because I saw the cutout, and then my cousin literally said, "No, she doesn't. She does not want to see that," and I'm like,
bitch, what? Who are you?
She basically, so we saw Commission Teenage Drama Queen. I still love that movie to this day, but I did see Mean Girls when I was in Girl Scouts, so we went on our annual trip, and we all watched it together, and that was, like, my first time, like, really experiencing, like, girlhood. And again, Mean Girls is very much a rite of passage movie for, girls going into teenagerhood. You go from, like, all the glitz and glam and glitter to, like, oh, kind of real high school stuff. What's interesting that I kind of realized earlier today, because I didn't know if we were going to record today, but something I realized is that when, how, like, a movie's kind of good when, like, you can recap it to other people who have never seen it before, and, like, it fits the tone when you retell the story. Because thinking about it, if I was to explain this movie to anybody that's never seen the movie before, mainly was like, because all I do is talk to elderly people, it's like, this sounds like some school drama that didn't happen, that I didn't even go to that school. She doesn't even go here.
That movie is so quotable, though.
What?
The movie is so quotable.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the most quotable movies of. It's more quotable than, like, I can't think of, like, any other one. Outside of maybe my personal favorite, which is Beauty Shop, that movie is quotable as hell. I'm surprised. What's your favorite quote, real quick?
From Mean Girls?
Yeah, from Mean Girls, like, favorite one.
I really like the, Danny DeVito, I love your work!
I was just thinking that one too. And then the what's the one that the Pringle says? I did not leave the South Side. Oh hell no! I did not leave the South Side for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we will keep you here till all night if I have to. You can only keep you here till 4. We will keep you here till 4. But yeah, as you can see, we're big fans. Everybody in that movie did everybody's iconic in that movie and kind of all in their peak. Honestly, I mean, we know that Rachel McAdams would get much more accolades in the clades. Lindsay Lohan went on to be doing Lindsay Lohan things. Amanda Seyfried, it's an iconic movie. It's an iconic movie that I think everybody loves, everybody, adores. And even if you're not a fan, like, I know dudes who really love this movie too. Like, this is not, like, it's one of those films that probably is going to, stick around for, like, probably a very, very long time. But it does have its problems. We're going to get into it a little bit.
It does.
It
does have its own problems.
Because now, we got to talk about the Broadway musical that happened almost 2.5 decades later.
No, the Broadway musical was, I want to say, like, maybe 10 years later. I want to say, like, the Broadway musical was, like, a little over, like, maybe, like, 2018.
Yeah, 2017, 2018, around that time. Came out, written by majority of the same people, Tina Fey and whatnot. and everything. And I'm gonna say this now that because I remember when it was coming out and they were doing all the promos for it. I saw them uploading all the songs on YouTube and whatnot, and people doing the animatics, because you know what happens when new musicals come out, people doing animatics, which I'm not saying that as a shame. I love y'all that do the animatics. It's actually kind of nice. But yeah. And I'm gonna say it, after now seeing it after all this, like all the way through, I kind of understand why this is like, a musical that not a lot of people actually like.
No, the musical is fine.
No,
It's very
it's
like,
fine, but I get why some people don't like it. And
yeah.
I understand, especially coming from a musical theater background and understanding how like these newer ones work. I do understand, and it's a couple of issues with it. Number one, the oversaturation of pop culture that is getting turned into musicals.
Yeah, there's
Because
that.
it's bad enough. Because bad enough, we have every other movie that came out from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50, 60. Hell, I just found out today, you know that movie Anaconda that's out in theaters right now?
Yeah.
Apparently it's a remake. I did not know that. I did not know that. I found that out through Double Toasted. Shout out Double Toasted and them talking about it. And I was like, this is a remake?
I'm not
I
even
thought this was just
remotely
some
surprised, actually.
I thought it was just some bullshit the studio made. Because I like to believe when they're not, sucking every IP dry. I just believe that they just be making certain films, and the ones that don't try, like Sinners. I just be believing the fact that like they just make shit up on purpose. Like they just make bullshit up sometimes. But I didn't know. But but that's the other thing. When a movie that like has like some cultural reference to it doesn't get like the reboot, reimagining, remix, iterated treatment, it gets turned on Broadway, and that's what I've noticed. And then on top of that too, I feel like with the music, they're not really like trying to make it match the vibe of the show.
What I will say when it comes to the Broadway musical, and something I think that they do it's like really smart how they go about it. The whole aspect of like, because we're watching the movie and watching the musical mostly from Katie's perspective. I love the kind of African motifs that they put in a lot of her songs specifically, and how like Katie is only really understands the world through African animals.
Yeah.
And so in some of the songs, when she's trying to like understand something, she has to kind of reimagine everyone as a kind of animal. I think that was brilliantly done. And it's not done in the movies.
I think it's fine, but I think like it kind of worked better when we saw it that kind of one time in the original movie, where it was like I knew how this would be settled in the animal world, and we see that, and that's how that went down, and then you cut back, and it's like actually, but in Girl World this was different. I get that, and I think in theory it is smart, but I'm also kind of like it's a little distracting. And that's the thing about, and again, we're gonna get into it when we get into like the movie version of the musical, because again, those two are very different from each other. But my thing, why I said I understand why a lot of musical theater people don't really like this particular musical, is because it feels a little over imploded. And what I mean by that is like, okay, let me break it down, because I said this before, and I'll kind of break it down here. What I noticed with the show is that this show doesn't really have an identity for real in terms of its music. Think about any other Broadway show that you know. Think about how Hamilton does its songs, how Heathers does its songs, how even Be More Chill, even fucking Dear Evan Hansen to a certain degree. They all have their certain musical vibe and musical palette. Heather sounds like 80. It sounds like the 80s. Like all of them have that, and I think what really would have sold Mean Girls a little bit more for some people, because I know that when I ask people, why they don't like it, or like what songs do they actually like from it, is that everybody's favorite one is "Sexy" from the musical, and I agree. I love that song too.
World Burn.
I like it too.
Best song is World Burn.
Okay, I like that one too. I like that one. I like that one too. But a lot of people who I've asked like about, it, they said that their fave is Sexy. That's their fave, and I get why, because it actually kind of matches with the vibe of the show. It's the only one that kind of actually sounds like trashy early 2000s pop. The rest of all the songs and all the songs, except for maybe World Burn and maybe the first iteration of Meet the Plastics, all of them sound like have the palette of sounding like very generic musical songs. Like Where Do You Belong? Like Where Do You Belong is a perfect example. It sounds like an opening number or a showstopper number. Hell, it even has those little motifs where they do like the tap dancing and the that type of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of see. And each one they don't really match the vibe of the show. And I think that's probably the main issue for a lot of people. Plus, like, I think that's what a lot of people don't really like about it. That's why they say that Sexy is their fave. And I understand it too. Plus, like, it is a funny way to do like that whole one line about Girl Wrote the one. Halloween is the one time a year where a girl can dress like a total slut and no one else can say anything. That's the perfect way to do it. I like that. And again, it fits. Even the lyrics kind of fit with it. I love that one line that's like, "This is modern feminism talking. Watch me, I'm so expected to run the world in shoes I cannot walk in." That's good. I like that. But other than that, and then like just I don't know. Like I think I enjoyed a majority of the show. But because there are a lot of songs that I was still humming to, and I'm like, yeah, I still like this. Yeah, I still like this. But but I do see why people are turned off by this particular show. I understand where it's coming from, 100%. And also too, it's kind of just feeling like, like we've done this already. You didn't need to do this. Why can't Leave Good Enough alone? So I get where that's coming from people that that don't really like this one.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah, thoughts, yeah. But I will say, at least this musical actually enjoys the fact that it's a musical. Knows that it wants to, sing and dance and, do all the things and whatnot. Unlike the movie to the musical.
My biggest thing when it comes to the movie musical, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking the acting. The acting is a little, like, blah. I don't really care for it, but, like, I'm not gonna say that, the acting was, like, Gal Gadot levels of terrible, right?
I think we're past that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing about it is, again, it doesn't want to be a musical, and it doesn't know how to categorize its characters. Both in, like, the Broadway musical and the movie, clothes and fashion are very much part. Like, they play a huge role in how the characters are perceived and, like showing you kind of the development of these characters, right? And someone pointed this out a couple years ago, when it comes to the original, right? I'm just going to talk about the original one right now. So Lindsay Lohan, because her last name is Lohan. Lindsay Lohan's color palette. She is a true autumn. She's a warm autumn. So the colors that that look best on her are like these earthy kind of warm-toned neutrals, right? So like a lot of like tans and browns and greens, like warm colors that aren't like super, super bright look amazing on her. And like if you notice the beginning of the movie, like when Katie just gets to the school, she's wearing like these reds, these olive greens, these kind of brownish tan color. Like she's wearing her palette, and as she becomes more and more plastic, she switches, and now she's wearing these bright pastels, like these light baby blues and baby pinks, which they look good, but they also are like very flat on her. They don't complement her. You know what I mean? So
I get what.
So like as the movie progresses, you're like not seeing her in her best colors because you're not supposed to be seeing Katie in her best light. the clothes are trendy and they're fabulous and they're fashionable and blah, blah, blah. But she still looks out of place. There's something that just looks off about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they also kind of do that in the musical too, not specifically in terms of like color palette, because I know that for color palette it was more for the movie, but for the musical, even in the clothes that they have her wearing as like it progresses, she dressed for comfort. She used to dress for comfort because, well, I'm just going to school. I don't need to be wearing like a mini skirt and a crop top and da 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 da. I'm just wearing like what's comfortable. And as she becomes more plastic, she starts wearing like these super trendy, super fashionable, but also kind of restricting. Right? Like, because it's all about appearance. In Mean Girls, the movie musical, when you're looking at Katie's clothes and Katie's fashion, there's not much of a distinction between how she dressed at the beginning of the movie versus how she dressed when she was a plastic. Like, yeah, her shirts are a bit more low cut, and she's like wearing skirts instead of jeans, and like she's wearing makeup and stuff. But at the same time, like, there's the visual contrast that we're supposed to be getting from the beginning, like the naive kind of child entering this new world that they're completely not ready for, versus like the stark contrast between plastic Katie. You don't see much of that. And then by the end of the movie, Katie, and we as like the audience, kind of see her in a neutral kind of ground. Like the silhouette and maybe the sort of style of her clothes has improved to indicate that she was at some point a plastic, but it's not as like far as it could be, right? She's not wearing a mini skirt and stiletto heels, but she's wearing a fitted top and like a nice belt and some snug jeans. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a fashion evolution, and there's a story told through the fashion of the story, or fashion of the movies. And in the movie musical, we don't get those transitions. We don't get those, like, those notches on a checklist. We don't get to check them off. It's just,
right.
Never mind the fact, I don't like, and this goes for Wicked too, I don't like when we're watching a musical, and we all know it's supposed to be a musical, and for some odd reason, the movies try to make it all like, oh, musicals are so lame, like, no one wants to see a musical anymore, so let's make it not a musical. Let's get bitches that can't sing.
We did talk about this with Wicked. I think, but Wicked, comparing the two, they actually probably knew their fan base and was like, if we don't get the best of the best for like the main parts, then we're fucked.
No, but even with the parts that aren't the main parts, like obviously Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, like they could sing, right? But even Madame Morrible, she does sing in the movie. And I don't understand why she does sing in the movie, but she also sings in the musical. I don't understand why you couldn't just find an Asian actress, because that's what John M. Chu said. He got Michelle Yeoh because he wanted Asian representation in the movie. And I'm not going to knock him for that, because that's totally fair. My issue is, there are Asian people who can also sing. And why didn't you get someone who could?
Well, let me put it, see if I can bring it in a more like of a filmmaker thing. Because like I said, it's more like they said, we got to focus on the main two. And they said, everybody else, let's just not worry about that right now. Because like, really, who are you going there to see? I'm thinking about it from like a filmmaker thing. Like, who are you going there to see? You're going there to see, if for anybody that's a fan of Wicked, that knows the musical, that knows the story and everything, you're there for Alphaba and Glinda.
Yes,
Nothing.
but there is
He has
other
nothing to stand
music.
for.
There's other
Why
musical.
worry about, in his mind, and again, I'll give Jonathan to his credit now, why he didn't do no brown person that was also Asian. We can talk about that another time. But, let's be real. Who the fuck cares about Madame Morrible for real? Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares about the wizard for real?
But
In that
it's
story, who
part
cares?
of the issue. It's part of the trend of getting people for a musical movie that doesn't know how to sing. I
Which,
love
yeah,
Pierce
but
Brosnan
here's
in
the thing. Mm-hmm.
I love
Here's
Pierce
the thing, too.
Brosnan in Mamma Mia. Girl, stop it. Um but like if we're talking in terms of like singing ability, he's not the best singer.
Oh, yeah, no, he sucks.
He's not like terrible the way people are like, "Oh my god, my ears were bleeding." Like he's not the best, but he
We're
also
not getting
just
a Phantom here. We're not getting a Gerard Butler in Phantom of the Opera here, are we?
but like it's not that terrible. But at the same time, this is supposed to be a musical. And why aren't we getting people who could actually sing in a musical? That's my biggest critique about it. And it doesn't matter that, oh, no one cares about Madame Morrible, no one cares about the wizard. Like I'm still expecting for a musical, I'm still expecting to hear people who can perform musically.
Well, give it also to the fact that it's not like they're not trying, because I've learned too also that there is a such thing as like getting someone that like can't, because we do this in also musical theater as well when it comes like in regular like community theater and that type of thing, is that you can get someone who has more of the charisma over like the actual thing, and then they can kind of figure out, like, for example, Dwayne The Rock Johnson as is it Maui? Is Maui from Moana? Cannot sing at all. But he's doing, or even Robin Williams from Aladdin, can't really sing, but does kind of give off the vibe and the energy.
But
So
he's
you can
so
say
Robin Williams is so entertaining that like
exactly
it
that you're
makes
distracted
sense.
from. Exactly, that's what it is.
Right?
Like
Like
you're not thinking about that he can't really like hold a tune, or he's not really like or he's even improvising through the song. You're like, oh, this shit is entertaining. Same thing with like Dwayne Rock as Maui. He's so entertaining. You're not even really thinking about it. I think it was that for Jeff Goldblum, because Jeff Goldblum, he's been doing this shit for years, and like he has a certain vibe about him where it's like, even if he's not like singing the best, you're just kind of like, he having a time. He's doing his thing. He's doing and houses.com type shit. So there's that. Michelle Yeoh, I think probably, but also too, I think also it works on her, but more for the villain part of it,
no,
Because
it does
again,
not.
she
No.
does really well as Madame Moore. I'm gonna give it to her. She did well, because I was on her side at first. I was like, oh, she feeling for Elfie, and like she's actually gonna help her. And then when she flipped, I was like, fuck you, you bitch.
Well,
You
yeah, that's
bitch.
cuz she's an actress. But
Yeah,
again,
so I think that's what it is. I think that's really what it is around it. That it's like, it's not about, I think for like I said, they worry more about the mains that can actually sing with this, but then also worry about, okay, we're not really having that and everything. And plus, like, you never know, maybe like it was a studio note or something like that. Like they had to get certain people there. Again, you never know.
they didn't have to get anybody, cuz even Michelle Yeoh herself was like, I was really hesitant to even accept the role because I can't sing. Which again, I understand that John M. Chu has worked with her before, and he probably loves her. I love Michelle Yeoh. I think she's amazing. But if she can't sing, don't put her in a fucking musical. Get any other...
Here's the thing. Here's
like,
another thing why you're not doing this too and everything. How come they didn't just pull a dubbing situation?
even that.
Yeah.
Like, even if you got, like, someone... you wanted her to do the acting, that's fine. You wanted to get someone else to do the vocal dubbing, that could also work. It happened, they literally do that in The Greatest Showman. And it works. It does
I
work.
just think that there's a certain thing, but hey, at least with Wicked, hey, we got our leads pretty much down, and again, that's what you're here for. We can go back to Mean Girls here. I agree with you 100%, because, first of all, I'm gonna say this. Okay, first of all, let's go to the one that I'm not like saying that they're terrible, because I can never say her name right, so you might have to help me here. The one that plays Janice, I can never say her name. Is it Alu? Ali? I'm gonna butcher it. How do
Ali
you say it?
Carvalho?
Say again.
Ali Carvalho?
Yeah, Ali Cavallo. Again, phenomenal as Moana, and she did mildly okay when they did the first live action Little Mermaid. Mildly okay. To be fair, those aren't all that good anyway, except when her does it. When they do those little like 20-year, those 30-year anniversary little things they do on ABC, I'm like, okay, whatever. Even though I can't sit up there and say that because the one for Beauty and the Beast was great, and on top of that too, y'all brought Queen Latifah as Ursula. You should have did that shit for fucking the actual live action one, but I digress. Not that I hate Melissa McCarthy, I just missed opportunity. Anyway, but yeah, I like her. I think she is a good singer. But the rest of them, with the exception of Renee Rapp, and it's just like, y'all got the girl. I didn't realize that the actress that's playing Katie, first of all, I didn't know she was British in real life. Second of all, I didn't realize she's Ned's girlfriend from fucking the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
My biggest issue is, yes, in casting her as the lead of the musical. Again,
Yeah.
if you're casting for a musical, make sure the motherfuckers can sing. Make sure,
Yeah.
like, they're...
And the problem is that she's not bad. I feel like, too, even
She
if you
is.
get someone that
She is
can't sing,
bad.
you can train it. You
No,
can train it. You
no,
can take
not
time
in
to
the...
train. You
No,
can't
not
do
in the
that.
way that they... Not in the way that they did this, no. They, like, threw her in. They're like, oh, we're not gonna do any editing, really. We're just gonna make you sound the way you sound. And it pisses
And
me
just
off
go
because
with it.
even with, like, the songs in the musical, even if you're not a fan of the musicals, the song tells the story and allows you... That's one thing I really like about musicals. It allows you to delve deeper into this character. There are two things we know about Katie when we first meet her. She is from Africa and was homeschooled, so she never really got to interact with other kids her age and was, like, forced to... only, like, look to animals as a model of behavior, right? And she really likes math. And when they gave her the song Stupid with Love, it's this confused girl who grew up sheltered and not good with dealing with other people her own age. She goes to this new school, she's supposed to be focused on math class, and she gets distracted by a cute boy. And she's so confused and so, like, oh my, like, she's so, like, dumbfounded that she is forced to, like, sit there and be like, well, I'm good with math, and, like, this guy is so cute, and I like this guy so much that I'm fumbling with my math. I can't focus on math. All I could do is pay attention to him. And, like, that is the song is a great way to explain that, to let you know, let the audience know that while this is a brand new feeling that Katie's feeling, she's actually really excited about it because, oh, this is a new thing I could learn, and I could, like, I may not be good with love, but I could try, and wow, this is so exciting, this da 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 da, because she's like a naive teenager, right? But what they do in the movie, I remember seeing so many TikToks about how they lobotomized her because it goes from, I'm astounded and nonplussed, I am filled with calculus, does this guy work out? He must, I'll sweaty at the gym, and she's like so like bubbly and jumping around and happy, to, I'm astounded. Wait, what are the lyrics? Hold on. Okay, you go while I look for the lyrics.
While you're looking for the lyrics to the song, so what I want to say about the movie musical is not only because, again, like I said, I went in this because I knew majority about the original, like, Broadway show. I knew majority of all the songs. I knew how they were all placed and whatnot, but I didn't see it before. And again, the number one complaint that I remember people were saying when the movie first came out was that this movie is ashamed to be a musical, and even the advertising like this. For me, it's not even, like, it's partly that, but also, and I wish I had my chips to make the reference for Lindsay Ellis, but this movie has a tone problem.
Yeah.
Like, this movie 100% has a tone problem. And the problem is the fact it does not know what it wants to be. At first, it wants to kind of, try to be like the musical. But the problem is that, at least with the Broadway show, it knew what it was. And on
Like,
top of that,
tonally.
too, yeah, and also, but it's bubbly, it's bright, it's this, and a lot of the shots are done almost like Les Mis, like it looks more on realism and everything. Like, I actually kind of hate the fact that the high school they chose to film this, and no offense to the actual high school that they did this in, but think about something like High School Musical. It's big, it's bright, there's red all over, Wildcats is everywhere. You get an idea. Hell, they still to this day have the pink locker from the third movie to this day, and kids post TikToks all the time of them, of the ones that go into that school, of them, oh, I got the pink locker this year, I gotta sign the pink locker this year, blah 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 blah, that type of thing. And it's big. You can do all these big musical numbers, you can do all the stuff with the get your head in the game, all that and everything. Here, everything is so cramped. Like, it's claustrophobic, and it's just like, closing up the scene to where they can't. I'm surprised they can do so much what they can do in this. Hell, even the original school that the original movie took in was a lot bigger. So I'm just like kind of like confused. And then on top of that, they're shooting it in a way that looks more on realism than it actually does, like actually like a musical and everything. Like, everything is shot more like murky and dark and like more murky, more like just ugly ass color palettes and whatnot. And then on top of that, just from like the dialogue and how they do each song, like you said, the original Calculus is not my fave song at all. It's not my fave.
Which one?
Not my fave, but the one you just said. I forgot the name, but like, I'm astounded and I'm lost. I am filled with calculus. That one, it's not my fave.
It's not my favorite either, but I get the song, right? Like, tonally,
yeah.
I understand what they were going for when they wrote it, and I understand why they wrote it like that. My issue is, how do you go from that bubbly, exciting, kind of like, oh, like, I wonder how it's gonna go for her, if you're not familiar with the actual movie, right? If you're watching the musical first, you're like, oh, I wonder if this will go well for her. Because it makes you excited, and it makes you feel, like, it's supposed to make you feel stuff for her, right? And then the musical, or the movie is just like, I'm astounded and nonplussed. I am filled with calculus. Does this guy work out? Yeah. He must all sweaty at the gym. And like, I remember someone be like, when she's like, I'm astounded and nonplussed. Someone's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure you're astounded and nonplussed? Like, she's like sitting on a swing, staring solemnly at the sky. Like, it's like she's singing like it's a mournful lament, and not like, oh, I have these feelings and it's so exciting. Like, girl.
Yeah, hell, Riley from fucking Inside Out has more, and we've seen her emotion. You like, just, yeah, and then it's. A lot of songs are cut. Like, I was like, wait a minute, like, y'all not doing Where Do You Belong? Like, there's a lot cut here. And I kind of wanted to see, like, a visual interpretation of what that song, because like I said, as much as, like, I like that song, I also, like I said, with my critique that I said before, it is very much playing the old school Broadway. Like, they're using the palette of old school Broadway.
Very true.
Like, they're doing that and whatnot. They're doing that with a lot of the songs, too. Like, even with, like, the first part of Meet the Plastics, like, the last little bit of that, when they say, wear something nice and by the tray, cause we don't do this every day. Like,
say, here's where you belong.
Where you belong.
Say, here's where you belong.
They're really saying, here's
where you belong.
And see it with us tomorrow. It'll be fetched. Like, yeah, it's that palette that they're doing that with and everything. And like and I know a lot of people said that the best one was probably like, I did like Sexy. I think Ivanka did a very good job. I hope I'm saying her name right.
Avantika.
Her name right.
Avantika.
Say again.
Avantika.
Avantika.
Yeah.
She did a really good job doing Sexy. I kind of, even though I did get annoyed at the fucking, the lyric change, which is like, this is modern feminism talking, I expect to run, because the line is, this is modern feminism talking, I expect to run the world in shoes I cannot walk in. Instead they changed it, to, this is modern feminism talking, watch me as I run the world in shoes I cannot walk in, which I'm like, Yeah, okay.
Like, why did that
Okay,
need
but
to be? Maybe it was like a
like what?
tonal thing.
Hell, there's another line that they changed too. Because if you remember when they were going over the different concepts, like sexy Quinn from Sexy Jaws, catching sexy Shark, sexy Eleanor Roosevelt, or sexy Rosa Parks. They changed it to or sexy Joan of Arc, which I'm like, come on,
Just
like
say you
no,
didn't want to cast a black person. Just say that.
no, they did. They cast a couple of hell. One of them's a TikToker. I mean, I'm sitting up here and I'm like, it's not even that. I'm like, that's the problem. This has because 1 minute it wants to be like the original movie, then the next minute it wants to be like the Broadway musical, then a minute like it wants to have the self-aware, which I will do a whole rant on that in a minute, on the whole like the self-aware humor. Then they're doing the ones where they have visual gags and whatnot. And I'm like, movie, do you know what, you're giving me whiplash, baby. Like, what are we doing? Like, by the time we get to, all these other things, and again, a lot of stuff is cut, which I'm like, why are we cutting a lot of this? And then a lot of it also, too, is making references to, stuff from the pop culture. Like, for example, when they do the Rockin' Around the Pole, which I'm like, I wonder why they changed it in, the Broadway show. Could they not get the rights to Jingle Bell Rock? Could y'all not do that? Okay, bet. But then, when Damien said, which I will also say this when we get to the good stuff that I like about this movie, because there are a few good things that I like. When Damien says "thank you next," so I know what that's a reference to. That's a reference to Ariana Grande doing this whole thing and "thank you next." Okay, I got what you did there. But a lot of it is just there's one scene when they're doing the again, going back to the self-aware humor, there's one scene where one of the people that when they're in that little group circle with the teacher that's played by Tina Fey again. Which, girl, we get it. You wrote it and you helped write this one. Okay, give it a rest. I'm surprised they didn't bring back Amy Schumer to just do it again. She's probably too busy doing Inside Out too. But my thing is there's a scene where one of the kids is like, I'm sorry that I was flat during Revenge Party. We have to get the story rolling. And then they're like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, what? This isn't the first. I'm like, why are we doing these little self-reference one when it kind of breaks it? Okay, so again, y'all don't get tired of me bringing up Sinners, but I have to bring it up again, okay? And because it's a good movie, and also it does a lot of things. Because again, technically speaking, Sinners is a musical. Can you hear me at all?
Yes.
Okay, let me do this. I have to do this again. I'm so sorry. It's not my fault that Sinners is amazing and everything. And as of this recording, we're recording this at the day after the Critics' Choice Awards. You already know how I feel. That's another episode for another time. So the thing about Sinners, and I think I said this in in our first episode, was the fact that it is a very interesting musical because all the songs in Sinners is very much diegetic and non-diegetic. And what I mean by that, it mainly kind of refers to sound, but all the songs in Sinners are just performances that happen in the world, and they are aware of what happens. They know that they're doing a performance, and it's not like a fourth wall thing. It's just it's part of the thing. It's part of the story. It's part of it. It's there. Unlike musicals that are non-diegetic, where they kind of have to weave it into the story. Like you said, musicals tell the story. If you cut out any songs from Wicked, you miss a lot. So it's part of that. It's part of the in-world universe and whatnot, and have to be part of that. Sinners is, again, very different because, again, all of them are diegetic. But it's not like they're breaking the fourth wall and telling us, ain't this boy a good singer or whatever or something like that. They're not doing that because it's part of the story and part of the genre that they're telling us, which is horror, which makes 100%, which makes a lot of sense, especially when you know the first little bit in the movie when they tell us about people that have the power to bring people, that have the power to use music to bring people together. Now, let's talk about now you're probably wondering to yourself, why did I bring this up? Well, when it comes to musicals that like to do the fourth wall breaking and self-aware humor, it kind of breaks that little thing. It's one thing if you have a whole musical that does like to do the whole self-aware humor and whatnot and breaking the fourth wall, then that's its own little thing. That works by itself, and that's fine. But it doesn't work when you do it very sparingly. Case in point with Mean Girls. I brought up the first one with the one of the kids that was saying that, but also there's a scene where it's Damien, Janice, and Katie all talking under a tree, and then she's talking to them, and then and then like they kind of pause her, and then the people up in they pan up, and there's people in the tree singing like playing the music that she's feeling when she talk about Aaron, and they say, "Wait, stop! What do you mean you haven't said anything to him?" And I'm like, wait a damn minute, why are we doing that now? Like I said, this movie has a very much of a tone problem, not just like in the dialogue and how it like wants to portray itself, but also just like in how it presents its musicals. Because I was getting to it, a lot of people have said that the one scene that the one music that the one song that they liked was Revenge Party. Now that's one of my favorite songs in the original show. I love that song. It's very, very fiery, very amped up, and there's a lot that happens. And I forgot what it's called in like musical theater, but it's one of those songs where like it's like a lot of shit is happening while the song is going on. You know what I mean? When we're doing the well, like for Hamilton, when they're doing the "Why do you write like you're running out of time? Why do you write like you're writing day and night?" Like that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that type. I forgot the actual name for it. It's killing me right now. But that's what that kind of song is, even though we're not even to the second act yet. And it's fun. It's fiery. You get all this information. It's like, you get to the lyrics are really, really funny. And this one, I'm like, they're doing like this whole like thing, which also again goes back to the scenery. Really, you're doing all this in the fucking hallway. And then you're not even like, again, you could do so much with the visuals with that song, and it's like it's kind of just fucking lackluster as hell. Mine is like doing a couple like color palettes and switching up the color palette for flavor. Like I'm just, again, this movie just feels very just blah, like blah as hell, and I'm like, damn, if only like y'all really like just embrace the fact you're a musical. You are a musical. And I think I've heard, like, the marketing for this was very much like, again, they were almost ashamed to say they were a musical. And it's like, I don't know. I just felt kind of like lackluster. It just felt like, a lot of the story just doesn't work. And a lot of it also feels like they were kind of appealing to, like, Gen Z, but also to the people that grew up with the original movie that probably have kids now. I mean, not us, because, kids are not my thing. But just, yeah, this kind of feels like they kind of like if I was saying earlier about how they probably had a studio note of why they got like Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh, this movie feels like this was studio notes the musical. Like, you have to have this, and then you have to do this, and then okay, make sure that this is here, and blah blah blah, this, all this and everything. Like, just, and even like some of my other favorite songs, like for example, fucking my other favorite one that I guess you can say is like Regina's "I Want" song is
Someone Gets Hurt.
Yeah, I like that song because it actually kind of like, again, it kind of shows Regina's intentions, and I love that, and I love the way it's done. I love how a lot of animatics have done it. Why the fuck did y'all do this like a fucking horror movie? Why was that the choice? They really said, and I get kind of, and here's another thing about like and let's go back to the original movie. The thing about the original movie with Mean Girls, it's one of those movies you can put it on at any given time, and it works. You can put it on during Halloween, and it works. During Christmas, and it works. Valentine's Day, because it goes through an entire school year, and it works with itself. Here, I'm like, I kind of forgot, oh yeah, this is like through a whole school year. Like, I kind of forgot about that. Because there's a lot of stuff missing. Hell, there's some shit they changed from the original Broadway and the movie. So, if you remember from the original movie, when Katie finds out that Regina is cheating on Aaron, spoiler alert for like Mean Girls, if you haven't seen it after all these years, come on now, do better. But in that movie, when she finds out that Regina is cheating on Aaron, after they got back together after the Halloween party, after Christmas break, they try to do everything they can to, like, make Aaron catch her in the act. And this leads to a bunch of funny scenes that we know. In the show, they kind of change it. Where Katie does kind of... Did Katie end up telling Aaron in the Broadway show?
I think so.
I'm blanking a little bit, but I know that they changed it up a little bit differently from the movie. And then in this one, she just tells him, and then there's nothing else. And I'm like, okay, well, you done got to that. What are we finna do for the rest of the, like, you got almost 40 minutes left. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing now? And it's like, yeah, I just feel like this movie has a tone problem, and I feel like this could have been like very fixed if y'all just embrace that you're a musical, and get people that can actually sing. Which, like I said, outside of Renee Rapp, say her name again,
Ali Carvalho.
Well, yeah, Ali Cavallo, and also the other one I couldn't say that played Karen.
Avantika.
Outside of them three, and which also too, there's also like a lot of changes that I'm like doesn't make any sense. Like when they get to Apex Predator, I mean, you don't keep hearing me say this a lot. There's a lot of songs that I like from Mean Girls. There's a lot of songs that I like. When they get to Apex Predator, in the original, it's a duet between Janice and Katie, and it makes sense why they're singing it because again, it's from what Janice knows about Regina versus what Katie is presuming about Regina and what she's experiencing, and you're kind of getting both of them. Here's a question: why is Damien and Janice singing this song?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That pissed me off.
Sorry? Yeah, like what? And no offense to the actor. I think honestly this will be the good thing. I actually like him as Damien. To be fair, I don't really care. And no offense, I don't really care for the guy that plays Damien on the Broadway show. It's giving white gay millennial. That's what it's giving.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's who they got to play it, a white gay millennial.
Yeah, but it's just the way that he talks a certain way that I'm like, oh, yeah, I know your type. Yeah, I know what you've been around before. Like, it's giving one of those guys that would be like, oh my god, girl, your hair is so slay. Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, I would have rather you just call me a slur. You know? And that's just how I feel. I know some people like that version of Damien, but he's not my favorite. Plus, like, y'all got rid of some of his good one-liners in this movie. Like when they're doing the cautionary tale, and he's like, "For this, I like this. What is it? The photo of John Singleton or whatever." And he's like, "I like to hold this while I'm singing." And again, like you're missing some good, but also too, the Damien in the movie makes a lot of stuff work. Like I love my favorite line was when they got to French class. And then he starts saying all the different names, and then the teacher's like, "No," and he said, when he gets to Beyonce. No. Like, I love the way he says it.
You know the teacher is the original Gretchen, right?
Yeah, I know. On Broadway, yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, but I was just like, yeah, I noticed that a lot. But I love that. I thought that was funny. And again, he does a good job. I would like to see him in more stuff. Plus, it don't help the fact he just reminds me of a mini gay Mac does it.
That's so fair.
I mean, the first time I was like, Mac, is that you? Oh, wait, no, never mind. My bad. I thought Mac done grown up. I thought you done snatched the bag. But, yeah. And like I said, Avantika.
Oh, my God. Avantika. She does really well, even though I did see Charles Brockman III make fun of the fact of her big-ass, bug-ass eyes in this. No, because, like, why was she, like, an alien? I don't know how else to describe it, but she's like looking around like it's my first day on Earth and everything is just so crazy.
Yeah, it's good, but she did a really good job. I don't mind Renee Rapp. Listen, Renee, call me sometime. But also, so like I said, before we were recording, I had said I watched the Broadway show with Renee Rapp and not Taylor Louderman with the original cast. I did not. I have heard Taylor Louderman, and I do like her as Regina, but Renee does also a really good job and whatnot. I heard like a lot of people saying that they kind of made this one around the fact of showing that Regina is more of like a cold manipulator and a cool girl type than what we got in the original, which I'm like, I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but also I'm like, but that's not what the Broadway show does.
Yes, it is.
They do her as like no, I mean like when they had Taylor Louderman
Yes.
around as first.
Yes, that is what they do in the original one as well. Her being like that's what Someone Gets Hurt is. That song is not like an, oh, I did really truly love you. That song is her trying to manipulate Aaron.
No, I'm not saying that it's not like she's not doing the manipulation. I'm just saying like her character, like because in the original, it's very much very posh, rich white girl type and everything. Like, oh, I love your shirt, like that type of thing. And in the movie, it's more like this type of like, yeah, I think you're kind of cool type thing. Like it's that type of vibe. You get what I'm saying? Like when I say that,
Yeah.
yeah, like and it feels, and I'll give you for a different interpretation. I'll give you that. But also, I don't think it fits here. I don't think it fits. And again, I know that Renee Rapp had originally had played her on Broadway. I know. I'm very much aware. And I think she does a phenomenal job. But here, I'm like, it's just, I don't know if this was given what you thought it was going to give, babe.
I think it did.
Also,
I think the whole Regina being like a cunning, not like stupid, because that's the big difference in a lot of iterations. It plays with the idea on whether or not Regina George was dumb, right? Like that's what a lot of the other adaptations tend to focus on. Not focus really, but like that's kind of where a lot of the changes tend to be. It's whether or not Regina George was like just dumb, basically. And I like, me personally, if we're doing a Mean Girls thing, because if we're talking about like, like those white Mean Girls, like Taylor Swift kind of levels of mean, like Blake Lively types of mean, where it's just like they're trying to gaslight you. They're not going to say something truly heinous in front of you. They're going to say things and do things that just are quick little tiny jabs that are barely noticed or barely acknowledged. Then when you're like, hey, so and so, like, hey Regina, you're kind of mean, that's when they can gaslight you. Like, me? Mean? I'm not mean. I didn't say anything mean. I just like I didn't mean to say anything that hurt your feelings. I'm so sorry, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like that's the vibe that Renee Rapp brings to it. That's the vibe Rachel McAdams brings to it, while also kind of like a little bit dumber. I don't know how else to explain it.
I can't say. First of all, I will not let you say the original Regina George is dumb.
I'm not saying she's dumb, but like she's not like doing the whole cunning thing the way Renee Rapp was doing the cunning thing.
Yeah, it does feel a very like a different vibe, and I'm like, I don't know if it really like if the rest of the movie actually committed to one thing to be, then I think it would have fit. But I don't think like it feels like all the mishmash here, and I'm like, yeah. What are some other good things that I liked about it? This is hard. Oh, I will say this. I forgot who the name of this YouTuber was, but he also did a video talking about Mean Girls. If I can find it, I'll probably put the name somewhere on the video where you can like find his channel or link his channel down below when I find it. But he had brought up Aaron Samuels in this. Bless that little white boy heart, because apparently he had went to like the premiere of the movie. And it was a bunch of like young Gen Z girls. And the first time this dude turned around, you want to know what they said?
What?
They said, "Oh God, he's fugly."
That's not okay.
Is it? Listen.
That is not okay.
Listen. If there's anything that I've learned in my 28 years of life is that when you become a teenager, when you start to become a teenager, you have this thing called unhingedness that develops inside of you. And teenagers are unhinged, and on top of that, it's the John Mulaney joke. They're gonna make fun of you. If you're not on their good side, they're gonna make fun of you.
That is true.
Like, literally. And when I heard that, and it's like, oh God, he's ugly. God, that's... Because, like, it's not that he not attractive. I'm not going to say my thing that I usually say when I see a man in a movie that I'm like... It's not giving Ben Platt in fucking... I'm about to say, wait till it's sale, my bad. Dear Evan Hansen. It's not giving Ben Platt in that, but it is... I just like... Yeah, I don't know about this one, Chief. Then again, I'll say this. In the original one, because I looked up... I looked up the whole original cast for Mean Girls on Broadway, and I was like, he's not attractive either. What are we doing?
I mean, a lot of the time they're far away. You can't really see the people's faces if you're in the crowd.
Well, like the one I watched, they were like in like the floor seats. So I got a good look, and then like when I looked up his photo, just to make sure, I was like, oh, he is ugly. For the like, ooh.
I like how you're just out here bullying bitches. Like,
listen.
Like, is any of this conversation really necessary? Talk about, he's ugly. Like, calm down.
Listen, I didn't bully him. It was them girls in the fucking theater from that one YouTube. And it's funny because he didn't even say nothing. He just repeated what they said. And again, look, listen, Linda. I'm not bullying here, but I am saying. But then again, I'll be frank. And when I first saw Mean Girls, and that's saying something because I've fallen for many white fictional men. I am a victim. I'm a victim of Disney's propaganda. But I didn't find the original Aaron Samuels all that attractive either.
I mean, they always just look like guys to me. I don't know what else to tell you.
I mean, yeah. Well, then again, you're ace, babe.
I'm attracted to people.
Name one right now.
Spencer Reed.
Who the fuck is that?
I'm not even gonna explain it to you.
You gonna make me Google?
Yes, I am.
Well, I've heard that name before. That name sounds familiar.
I probably mentioned him more than once.
Or like I've just heard his name before because I do be watching TV.
Did you watch Criminal Minds?
Yes, I've seen parts of Criminal Minds.
Yeah, he's.
No, wait, no, I'm confusing that with Psych. My bad.
Girl, how could you? Never mind. I'm not even gonna.
All the crime shows are the fucking same when you really think about it, or just the same in different fonts.
Nah.
Oh, brother, really?
Yes, I love him.
Really?
That's my baby. That's my boy.
If you like it, I love it.
You are such a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You really are, though.
If you like it, I love it. Look.
No, he's been my fictional husband since I was 2 years old, bro.
Babe, he kind of looking like it's given mild Dahmer, like.
What? Who's Mild Dahmer?
No, I said it's giving mild Dahmer, as in he mildly looks like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, don't ever. No.
Actually, you know what? You know what it's given? You remember when...
Do I want to know what it's giving?
You remember when they had Jesse Eisenberg played fucking Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman?
No, and I don't want to.
It's given a little bit of that. Okay, this one picture, he look all right in this one picture right here. But the rest of that, I'm like, I don't know about that.
No, he's so cute.
Child, I'm looking at him. That's not... if you like it, I love it.
You're such a hater, girl. I'm
not a hater.
You are, though.
I'm not a hater. Did I not say that Jonathan Bailey was attractive?
You made fun of his ears. What are we talking about?
I said he was attractive. He just got long-ass ears. He got the Martin treatment.
You are ungodly, and I'm not having the rest of this conversation with you.
Ma'am, I'm not ungodly.
You are not of God.
I mean, canonically, I did get possessed by an angel. So
what?
Canonically,
what?
It's a story I'll tell you another time.
Remember when this podcast was about Mean Girls?
So back to, this started with me like repeating what they said that he's. And again, to the actor, he's not, and he probably seems like a sweetheart, because I think I saw an interview with him and Renee Rapp, and they were asking questions about like different. No, she was asking about different gay icons, and it got to Beyonce. He's like, and she asked like a Beyonce. So I was like, who is that? And then she was like, wait, am I canceled? No, wait, am I canceled? She's like, no, you're just. And then Renee's like, no, you're just straight, and it's okay.
Renee Rapp is iconic.
Like,
Imagine if we got to interview her. I have a list of people I would love to
I'm
interview
trying,
for this
I
podcast.
want her phone number. That's what I want.
You are a freak. Go away.
Why? How am I a freak if she's a lesbian? How's that work?
You're not using this podcast to shoot your shot with Renee Rapp.
So, like, listen, Renee Rapp, if you're actually
No,
to this
no, she's not. She's not. That's the crazy thing is that she's not.
You don't know.
No, she.
We got 1K off of fucking Angel and Demon.
If one, I guarantee not one of those people is famous enough to be like, yo, haha, this is.
You don't even know.
No,
you never know.
If this. Actually, if a part of this podcast gets clipped and put on social media, I need the person we're talking about at one point or another, whether it's the point where I'm talking about Rachel Zegler or Cynthia Erivo or Renee Rapp or like Jensen Ackles. Like, it doesn't matter who we're talking about.
Any of this gets clipped, you know it's anyone where I'm crashing the fuck out. That's me rude.
That's so fair. Any of the parts where you're being like an unhinged maniac and I'm just sitting here on my bed, just staring at my phone like, are you good, girl?
Little side tangent. On our last episode when we talked about Angel and Demon, when I said that the movie was getting mildly popular, found out that apparently in Atlanta they're inviting like the actors to different clubs.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
That's my question. You don't know that. Okay, quick question. Do you watch Percy Jackson, like the new Percy Jackson TV show?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you know the actress that the black girl, the black girl that's in
Leah Savay Jeffries?
Show. Yeah. So when she was way younger, like almost 2 years old or a baby, she was on the show Empire as Jamal's kind of sort of baby daddy. It's a long story. That show's a long story. And when she was like first on the show, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she's so cute," they were making her go to clubs. I remember that they had her come to a club here in Detroit, because I think she's originally from Detroit. I could be wrong. And they had her at a club, and I'm like, "Why are y'all bringing this baby to a club? Excuse you?
That's weird.
Why are we doing that?
That's weird.
Yeah, weird behavior. But now they're like doing that for and I'm like, what they finna do? They don't have talent." Why are we telling them, oh yeah, come out to the club in one night, promoting clubs and shit? Excuse you? But yeah, go watch our last episode if you didn't know. We talked about Angel and Demon and whatnot. That video is almost like 1K views. Get it up to a few more views for us, please. But back to me. I think overall, the movie was very much a lot. It was very much it was a thing that I think, honestly, they probably kind of did. I don't want to say they did it at the wrong time, because I think, 2024?
Yeah.
And the show came out in 2017, 2018. So maybe, like, kind of right timing, but I think if they had got someone else to actually do it and direct it and write it, I think it would have been something else a lot more. And also, I feel like if they weren't so peer pressured, because, like, musicals are both on their way back in and also kind of out as well, too. I know Wicked really kind of changed the game and whatnot. But, again, for a while, what was taking over most of the box office and everything? Superhero movies. But before that, it was all the supernatural movies. And then before that, it was blockbuster. Like, it's just kind of a thing. And now that we're kind of coming in an era where, like, a lot of stuff is like, getting rebooted, remade and stuff like that. And also too, a lot of like these IPs are getting turned into musical. Like literally, I know they just did the the tour just came to my city. They just did the Back to the Future musical.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, this is starting to kind of get out of hand. And I'm like, what? I don't know. It just kind of feels like this was a chance to really, like, do something really great and grand. And I'm not saying that every movie, like, a Wicked, every musical moving forward needs to be a musical. I remember when, like, back in the early 2000s, we had popcorn movies. It's okay to do a popcorn movie.
But make sure the people who are in said popcorn, like, okay, I think my biggest issue with Mean Girls, with the movie, is the Nepo baby aspect of it. Because I know the little girl playing the main character is only playing the main character because isn't she related to some bigwig in Hollywood? Hold on.
Watch you if you found out you're wrong about that.
If I was wrong about that, that'd be crazy. But I'm pretty sure she's the daughter or the niece or someone, like, related to some big wig person in Hollywood.
Just search up who the actress is related to, and we'll figure it out really quick.
Her dad is Jeremy Rice, who is a composer, sound director, writer, director.
I see.
From Quebec. Oh no, not me shitting on another Quebecois. That's crazy.
Wait, what?
I'm from Quebec. And so is this guy.
Damn, that's crazy. You doing that? That's crazy. You putting disrespect on your own.
You know what? I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to say what I damn well please.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes, I am. Because my biggest issue when it comes to Nepo babies is the lack of acknowledgement that sometimes in a lot of situations they're not talented enough to have gotten there on their own, but because, oh yeah, this is some big director's niece, this is some big musician, some big pop star's daughter, some big producer's son, right? They always end up at the top of a list, and there are some Nepo babies who are crazy talented. Maya Hawke is one of my favorite actresses, like newer actress, because she's genuinely so talented that sometimes I don't even care. Sometimes I forget that she has famous parents.
Yeah. There are some.
There are some genuinely talented ones. But my issue is, if you're just some, like, don't M. Night Shyamalan Avatar The Last Airbender me.
Right.
Because now, the entire movie, which is supposed to be from Katie's perspective, the least interesting person on screen to watch in this entire movie was the lead girl. And the reason she was there is because of her name. I can't stand that.
Yeah. And it is weird, too, because like I said, all I recognized her as was, again, Ned's girlfriend in fucking Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yep.
You just told me all this today, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, and it's just, so yeah, I think it's that. And one thing I also want to talk about, too, is that one thing I will say, that, because we talked about this with Wicked, too, that there is kind of more diversity that I'm seeing in the background of a lot of these movies, because we saw a lot of us in Wicked. And there's a good portion of us both in the cast and also around the movie. But we have to talk about, if we're going to talk about Mean Girls, we got to talk about a little bit of the thing to the original movie. So one of the things that a lot of people have had an issue with the original movie is the fact of kind of like the semi-racism in that movie. Particularly with the famous scene where they're kind of going over everybody at the different lunch tables and whatnot. And how basically they're coming for everybody next. They said black people, they said white, they said Asian people, they said Hispanic, they said ableism, they said ED. And granted, like I said, that part is kind of semi-taken out in the Broadway musical, even though there are some lines that I'm like, excuse me, what the fuck you just said? And they completely deleted in the fucking movie, which I'm like, kind of sucks out the personality. But there is kind of a thing too. And yeah, I kind of do wish that, I kind of want to see, and but I've seen it now on Broadway that they replaced Regina with a black girl, or they have like, a black Regina George, thank you, Meg Thee Stallion. Oh yeah, I forgot, Meg Thee Stallion's in the movie.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And I was like, yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I like Meg Thee Stallion. She had way more to do in fucking She-Hulk than this movie. How is it possible that we keep bringing up like other like more talented people, in these movies, and it's like, y'all had better stuff to do.
My biggest issue, again, I don't like when a movie or when a show or when something I'm supposed to be watching, I don't like when the main character, the person who's supposed to be at the epicenter of the entire story, I hate it when they're not the best part of a series for me. I've mentioned in the last episode that I love Boy Meets World. My biggest issue with Boy Meets World is that everyone is more entertaining to me, plays a bigger part in the story for me than the titular boy in Boy Meets World. Sean and Eric episodes always ate. Mr. Feeney was the absolute GOAT. Topanga was leagues better, or, yeah, she would be leagues better off without Corey. And the parents were, well, parents. They had their episodes too, right? I don't like when the main person in a series or anything is not what I'm focused on, is not what I'm keen to. So the fact that Mean Girls, when in the original, my main focus was Lindsay Lohan and Rachel McAdams, right? They were my two primary focuses. They went off, like, they bounced off each other in a way that, like, made it entertaining to watch both of them, right? Like, I wasn't preferring one over the other. They just had such a good dynamic that they were able to play off one another in such a way that it was entertaining to watch. In this one, I'm only focused on Renee Rapp. I don't care about Katie. I don't care about Gretchen. I do care about Avantika, but that's more of concern because, girl, what are you staring at?
Yeah, I will say this. A lot of people were saying, like, again, from the Broadway show, a lot of people were actually, like, saying that they actually didn't, like, really care for Katie too much in that, but they like, the main Mean Girls, the main three, which, to be fair, again, they get, like, some of the best lines in this.
That's true.
They get some of the best lines. And, we can't end this off without talking about the second Mean Girl in this entire franchise. Janice. Janice. Oh, Janice. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm a fan of Will Burnett Reed. I'm a fan ever since I saw Heathers. I'm a fan.
Fair.
I'm a fan. Do I care about the fact that she said she don't want to see her fans after she get through with the show? That's another subject for another time. But I'm like, girl, like, see them one time. You can pop your head out and say hi. Like, I'm all for people's sensitivities and shit like that. Like, I understand it and everything. And if it's overwhelming for you, I understand. But I also too, like, girl, come on now. But yeah, I do. In the original, like, Mean Girls, a lot of people were, like, very much saying that Janice is very much also a mean girl in her own right.
She is.
How much she's obsessed with Gina George and whatnot, and
what she's
willing to do. What she's willing to do. Actually, real quick on a side tangent, do you know about the because I know you're kind of in fandom a little bit more, and I am too, but I'm not in it. Do you know about the Regina X Roderick ship that's been going around?
I don't even know how to get into that, because where did that come from?
So somebody on Twitter or TikTok had just made this crap. For those of you, for the few of you that don't know, that are listening to this podcast that aren't in fandom culture, in late November, my birthday, in late November of 2025, there was a flux of things that were going around that were shipping Regina George from the original Mean Girls with Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the original 3 movies. Now, how I found out about it, because I'm not on Twitter anymore, because fuck that hellscape. But I do follow a couple of fan art accounts on Instagram, and that's how I got into it, because they were posting all of these, and I'm like, huh? What are we doing, huh? Now, granted, I like the shit because I do like that kind of dynamic. The mean girl with a emo boy. I do like it. I ain't gonna lie. That's a nice combo for me, baby. If we're gonna do an episode one day where we go through like all our different like fandoms and different ship types and everything, and you're just gonna be like, you already probably think I'm a weirdo. You can be like, oh, bitch, you're a problem.
I'm just gonna sit there and be like, nothing here is something I didn't know, but also, good God.
who hurt you? Listen, I'm saying right now, I'm not into that wolf shit. That alpha omegaverse shit, not into that. No, thank you.
Valid.
Save that for Roly Coly. Save that for Roly Coly. It's just not my thing. Like, just it don't appeal to me for real. I'll be honest. I'm not. Remember when, like, in the first episode, we made much clear I never seen Twilight or anything like that, or Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
That type of stuff is just not my thing. It's just not. I would eventually get into it, which again is saying something about like Sinners, but eventually. But just like that werewolf shit and everything about Omegaverse, I'm not in that. I'm not in that. No, thank you. I'm good. I don't want to find out about Impreg. I don't want to find out about that shit. I'm good. I'm good.
Not gonna lie, Impreg is so funny. Not to read. I've never read Mpreg, but when I see other people react to Mpreg, it makes me laugh. Especially when, like, you get some older dude, like a gym bro, like a very straight, like, ooh, alpha male, blah, 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 and you get him to interact with Mpreg, and it is the funniest shit you will ever see because they'll just get so confused and afraid. And I find it entertaining.
And I'm the weirdo one, folks. I'm the weird.
No, because I don't know why, but it's like almost like, you ever see that meme where it's this girl and she's like, men don't never understand consent until you stick your finger up their booty hole. You've never seen that meme?
Oh my god!
You've never seen that meme?
No, I've seen it. I've seen, and also too, like I said, I'm like an elderly person that just been on the earth too long, and I'm just like, I've seen enough. I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need to know about heating cycle. I don't need to know about that shit. I don't need to know.
That's why I find it so funny, because like, it's the same thing with Mpreg. Like, give a man access to that and they'll understand autonomy and not wanting, like, they'll understand all of the rights about women choosing what they do if they end up pregnant. Like, they understand it all of a sudden. Just give it to them and they'll learn. I find it so entertaining because, is this what it takes? Is this what's gonna need to happen?
So, folks, look forward to the episode where we just unleash all of our fandom and the things that we're into when it comes to fandom. And, yeah.
Prepare for the episode where we go into detail about how neurodivergent we all are.
See, that episode is going to be mostly you because I don't even know if I am that yet.
Girl, we've interacted on numerous occasions. You got a little something. We don't know what it is.
I need to find out for sure.
I'm not sure about nothing either, but I'm just saying.
I need to know. Because I don't want to claim it and then be like, actually, you're not. And I'm like, oh, I'm just a weird bitch? Bet. Good to know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know that I have. I don't want to do that.
I'm saying I am because all of the other neurospicy bitches I've ever interacted with are like, girl, you got something.
But then again, also, too, we're fans of Kenny JD, so...
That's fair.
Yeah, but anyway, back to it. So yeah, so there have been kind of like a lot of stuff about Regina and Roderick, which I do like that. I think that's a fun little ship and whatnot. But a lot of people apparently on Twitter they were going crazy because they're like, "Oh, you're doing lesbian erasure because what about Regina and Janice and you're excluding that and everything?" And then the bisexual people was like,
"Are they a canonical ship though? Are they? They're not a canon ship, so it doesn't matter."
Yeah, you know how fans get, and I'm just like when I found out this information, I'm just like, this is why I stay off Twitter. That's why I stay off there. Because, y'all, I thought this was cute. I think it's cute. I like the little fan art that they're doing. And I think, like, in, the crack universe, that would be an interesting couple I want to see. That's an interesting couple. So, anyway, but, yeah, like, so with Janice, Janice in the first movie, she's very much a mean girl in her own right and everything. A lot of people have, say that. And it is giving, like, very toxic lesbian. In the Broadway show... And also, too, it is interesting, too, that, like, the original Janice in the original movie is not actually a lesbian. Like, they keep saying that, but then we find out that she's straight. She ends up going for, what's-his-face in there, the one that's the head of the mathletes that's like, boy!
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is, but I don't even care. My biggest thing is, I've seen so many people sit there and miss the fact that the whole, oh, she's a lesbian joke comes from the fact that Janice is Lebanese.
Well, that's actually an old Golden Girls joke.
Yeah, but it's also the whole part of the reason why I said like the Rachel McAdams Regina George is kind of dumb is, again, not for anything she's not Karen, right? But at the same time, the whole point of her friendship dissolving with Janice is not because Janice is actually gay, but because when Janice told Regina that she was Lebanese, she was confused and thought that meant that Janice was confessing to being a lesbian.
So that means in a near distant future, Regina George is actually Blanche Devereaux.
Yeah.
Yep, in a whole other alternate universe. I get you. Yeah, somebody did bring that up. I'm remembering. Yeah, somebody did bring that up. But also too, they kind of. I don't know how I feel about how they change it in the Broadway show and in the movie. Because first of all, let's get to the musical movie. That shit didn't make no sense.
They got rid of the fact that they thought she was gay.
Yeah, but also why did you make it over this fucking thing and then she actually set it on fire and blah,
Oh
blah,
yeah,
blah,
she was
blah.
actually an arsonist.
Yeah, she's an arsonist, which bro, okay.
First of all, if a bitch is bullying you for being an arsonist, then chances are, I'm sorry, I'm gonna believe it. It's not like she spread a rumor about me. There was a thing that you had access to that was suddenly set on fire in a point in time when only you had access to it. I would think you were an arsonist too. I would think you were unsafe to be around too. So that change does not make any sense.
Yeah, and also too, it's just and again, at least with the Broadway version, they kind of kind of keep it more to what the movie was saying was just if are you, because I kind of actually do, even though it is kind of fucked up, because again, if for those of y'all that don't know, the original Mean Girls is based off of a book called Queen Bees and Wannabes, and if you break down Mean Girls, it actually kind of does show how girls do ostracize each other and how we do bully each other, unfortunately, and everything. Which is very interesting. I always said, I know a lot of people kind of compare. Somebody said that they compare Mean Girls to Julius Caesar and what happens to him and everything. But I kind of always just said, because I just heard this one joke, but I think it's kind of funny. I always said that Mean Girls is just Snow White, where the queen doesn't kill Snow White, where Snow White kills the queen and becomes the new evil queen.
Honestly, I could see that.
Just like how if you think about it, Willy Wonka is just a Hansel and Gretel story where they recruit a new witch, where the witch wins and recruits a new witch. If you think about it that way.
And on that note,
yeah, and also guess what? We can give ourselves a little because we went through this entire fucking podcast talking about this without bringing up Mean Girls 2.
Until you did that.
Well, like I said, it's an award because we didn't talk about it not once.
I choose to forget that entire thing exists because imagine so fundamentally missing the point of Mean Girls.
Well, who missed the point more? The movie musical or the sequel that nobody asked for?
The sequel that nobody asked for.
True. I'll give you that.
They very clearly missed it more.
Plus, also, quick little thing real quick. Didn't realize this, and maybe I'm wrong, but, the Mean Girls musical, it takes place in Chicago the whole time?
I don't know where it takes place. Time? I don't know, man.
No, because I'm pretty sure the original one was Ohio or, Heather's High. But this one, they say it in the Broadway show, and I'm like, Chicago? Wait a minute. First of all, where are the black people at?
This is a Tina Fey production. There are no black people.
Hey, wait a minute now. Don't say that. 30 Rock exists.
Isn't there a very controversial episode of 30 Rock?
Wait, no, I never watched stuff.
A very racially controversial episode of 30 Rock. I'm pretty sure I've heard that somewhere.
See, the thing is that I just know 30 Rock exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Tracy Morgan is on. We're gonna do a whole episode of me just like bashing the fuck out of Tracy Morgan.
That's fair.
Because I've said it once. I'm gonna keep saying it for it. I never found that man funny.
You know who I never found funny? I never found Kevin Hart or Chris Rock very funny.
Okay, I'll give you Kevin Hart. Chris Rock.
He's not funny.
You can't say that when everybody hates Chris exists. You can't say words.
Everybody hates Chris is entertaining because, well, it's not even entertaining. That show just flat out pissed me off.
Why did everybody hate Chris piss you? It's because of Rochelle?
Yes.
Rochelle, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, but if you look at it past Rochelle for a second...
How am I supposed to look at it past Rochelle? She abused this child.
Because if you're me, you can focus on Tyler James Williams' fine, sexy ass.
He was a child. Don't be calling him that.
Hey, listen. I was a child when he was a child when that show was on. Leave it alone.
Okay. Okay, Edgar Allan Poe.
Second. Fuck out of here. Second, if you watch the show... I love how this went here. If you watch the show as a comedy and, like, really, like, kind of see how they do each joke... It's fucking hilarious.
It's not, though.
It is, though. You're just, you know. You don't know. You ain't
I
even
watched it.
Here. You're not even here.
I watched it.
You don't even go here. You don't even go here.
Okay, Damien.
Exactly.
Good Lord.
Actually, like, let's end it off on this, because I'm not going to let you do Era Hates Chris slander and, you know, fuck up my name and ruin my chance with Tyler James Williams. But,
he's a grown man and he's not into you.
And I'm a grown-ass woman.
He's not into you. Go away.
You don't know what he's into. You don't know what that man's about.
Do you know what this man's about?
Yes.
Do you?
Me.
Girl.
Look, am I very much aware that him and Quinta might be having a thing going on and they're not telling us like how they did with Janine and Gregory in the show, Abbott? Yes. Do I give a fuck? Absolutely the fuck not.
You have a problem.
You think I was out here giving a fuck when when Michael B. Jordan is out here existing? You think I actually give a fuck?
You should.
Fucks are never given.
You should.
Why should I give a fuck?
Because you require Jesus. You are an unhinged maniac.
You know, and some dudes like that shit. I know I'm insane. Bitch, I'm a Scorpio. And also, again, and on that note, too, again, me and Regina George have the same zodiac sign. Charming, beautiful, amazing hair. People say rumors about them that aren't even really all that true.
Girl.
Come on now.
I mean, to be fair, the hair on both of y'all isn't yours, so I guess that counts.
No, you the fuck you did. I know you not talking. I know you're not talking. I know you are laying in bed right now with a bird's nest on your head.
I'm laying down right now with a freshly done do that was freshly moisturized with a bonnet on my head.
Yeah, who did it? Your mom?
Myself, actually, because I know how to take care of my hair. Ha!
I know how to take care of my fucking hair too, okay? I know how to take care of my hair. That's why we have protective styles.
Do you know protective styles actually increase chances of traction alopecia?
Actually, no, they don't, because they actually help you have your hair grow a little bit longer and everything.
Actually, that's not how that works. Actually, that's not how that works. Actually, that's not how that works.
Styles when you know it's fucking negative 19 degrees up there in that tundra you stay in and known as Quebec.
Yeah, you know what? My hair actually not being in a protective style is doing better because now I don't need to spend money on earmuffs because my hair is just naturally covering my ears and keeping them warm.
Yeah, whatever. I feel very attacked and anti-black right now because I felt anti-black about my own hair. And also, how dare you come for a queen known as Regina George, the fuck?
I was making a joke because the hair she wore in that movie was a wig.
I know, and insured for literally $10,000.
Yeah, that's the joke. Oh my gosh, this girl's over here starting something.
For real.
Starting drama. For why? I know that.
Yeah, like for $10,000 that's crazy. Y'all paid $10,000 for that wig when I can literally go to my local like beauty supply and be like, "Hey, yo, y'all got that shit? Hey, yo, y'all got that shit?"
This was 2004. And
they probably still had that. You act like beauty supplies didn't exist back then for that.
Yeah, but also the wigs were a lot more obvious back then.
I mean, listen, we can do a whole episode saying that wigs nowadays look more obvious than back then.
I mean, depends on the wig.
The take said it. Because they said they're trying to make everybody look so perfect and fucking blonde and shit that you can tell the lace front. And I'm like, yeah, true.
Well, that's just because everyone's obsessed with whiteness and white supremacy, and that kind of manifests in wanting blonde hair.
Yeah, not me though. I've never actually. Yes, I have. I'm lying. I wore Beyonce platinum blonde as my braids one time. And also, yeah, I used to do colors all the time. Every color of the rainbow except orange, but I couldn't find one that matched my thing. What I was going to ask is that to end off this podcast, what character do you think you most relate to when it comes to Mean Girls?
I don't know, actually. Probably the teacher. Not the teacher, really? The principal. He's just done with this shit. He wants to leave.
I did not leave the South Side for this.
He's like, oh, hell no.
No. Hell no. Also, like, just on another note, I know that they brought back the original one. I'm just like, he just sound like he tired. He said, y'all, I quit SNL years ago. Let me go sleep. I need sleep.
And on that note, thank you for watching this episode.
Let me say mine, first of all. Let me say mine. I would say I relate most to between Regina and Karen.
It's because you're... I was going to say something so mean.
Fuck you. Fuck you in advance. Fuck you in advance. And on that
that's just because you're an idiot.
Thank you again for enjoying our podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and everything. And comment down below what you want us to talk about next time. Maybe next episode we might be talking about Geppetto. We'll see how it goes.
Maybe next episode we can actually make some money. Because, y'all, I know we're funny and stuff, but...
You could pay us. Yeah,
we don't do this for free.
Next month is Black History Month. You should be doing that.
For real.
Next month is Black History.
In the year of our Lord 2026.
Pay people that you don't know that do a podcast and make you laugh. How about that? And give Black people reparations.
Yeah. And
and ICE can go orbit itself to Saturn. How about that?
I was gonna say ICE can go shove himself up one another's ass, but okay. I was gonna say, but yeah, maybe we could do like an auction kind of thing where like highest bidder gets to choose the topic of the episode.
Yeah, if this video gets to like, I don't know how many likes, if it gets to like at least 20 likes.
20, girl!
Hey, we gotta start small, dude. We can't be doing like, big numbers. We don't got that yet.
I was gonna say like 100 because we have 1,000 viewers.
Yeah, we don't know how many we're going to get on this episode.
Okay, well then that's too damn bad.
We got lucky the first time.
That wasn't the first time. That was the second time.
Yeah, we got lucky. Yeah. But yeah, make sure you like and comment and subscribe and everything. And comment down below what Mean Girls character do you want to marry, sleep with, and punch in the face?
What the fuck?
We will judge you.
What
you
the
fuck? You never heard of fuck, marry, kill?
Marry, sleep with, and punch in the face?
No, I said which character do you want to marry, which one do you want to sleep with, and which one do you want to punch in the face?
I know. Why?
Because it's engagement, that's why.
Oh my god, girl.
And thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.